do you want to? We can go either way first. I'll let you pick.
Okay.
Dealer's choice. Do you wanna talk about DC first, or do you want to talk about the project in Alhambra first? Either one's fine with me.
DC. Let's do DC.
DC first.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. So you were there.
Yeah.
You were there during. Are people officially calling it the insurrection? Is that like the name, or like what's the?
Yeah, they're calling it the insurrection.
All right. So we'll call it that. You were there. Now you were there to cover the event. To do some reporting, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was there. I poked around. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what happened?
Well, I went in disguise. I mean, I should send you a photo, but I had my little.
Were you wearing horns? And was that you? Was that?
I've
painted and you had.
No, actually, I had a little Free Assange button on my black beret. I was all muffled up and, masked, double masked, because I knew what I was getting into. And I just walked around, and I didn't talk to anybody. I just was I wanted to be a fly on the wall. And so I arrived at the north side of the Capitol building. And I was looking around and like, it's weird, because I'm not used to that demographic and basically Trump people all around me. That was the first time that I had so many Trump people around me. Like where I live, there's not that many Trump people, but it's not Trump land. So just seeing people wearing Trump flags on their shoulders and holding Trump flags up, and just being in general, enthusiastic for their candidate, whoever that is. But so I was interested in that, like, wow, okay, this is kind of what we do on our side of things. And there were some people signing the Constitution or something. I didn't get in there too close because no one was wearing masks. So I just kind of breezed by, took some pictures. This Constitution, I think they wrote up their own stuff in it, and they were gathering signatures. And I wondered, what are they going to do with this thing? It's in one of my photos.
Do you know what it said?
I'd have to zoom in and read it, but it started.
Are you curious to read that?
No, I'm just like,
read it?
No, I couldn't. I was like, it's probably some stupid shit.
You're not curious what's in it. I'm curious what's in it.
Okay, interesting.
You're not at least curious what's in that thing?
No,
it's probably going to be pretty weird. But
is there a way for me to share a screen or?
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like on your end. I'm like I'm the giver of the information, not the like. I don't know what it looks like on your end.
Let me see. I know what I can do. Just pull it up on my phone. It's right here. This. Okay, here we go.
So this is like their constitution. They were
authority 2021. When in the course of human events, the free citizens of an independent republic witness their rights and opportunity. Okay, so that sounds familiar. And then I'll go up to, we hold these truths to be self-evident and unalterable, that all men are created equal before the declared law of God. Is that something? That doesn't sound good. That all living humans, born or unborn, are given by their creator certain rights, creator capitalized, certain rights capitalized, secure from any government or corrupted legislature. That among these are life, liberty, and pursuit. So, and then
okay, so it's pretty much just the run of the mill. Yeah, like they're just kind of quoting. Okay.
Our supreme authority, we hereby declare that any attempt whatsoever to subvert or overturn, bend, or repurpose our law to the benefit of a few is a violation of the rights of every legal citizen.
So they're not. I thought this was like an original document. I thought this was like they're writing their own thing. All right, I see. All right, I got you. I thought it was like they're writing their own.
No,
yeah.
And here's
all right.
One. I can't get it up there. So these signatures. So yeah, so that's what I saw. So it's kind of like just a regular old rally of people. And then it was separated from the steps of the Capitol. This is in the back of the Capitol, across from the Supreme Court and I forget what, the Library of Congress building. So and people were listening to the proceedings going on inside. Some people were listening to Trump's speeches, just like we listen to Bernie speeches sometimes, or what at the protests, not protests, but the rallies I've been to and whatnot.
And they were being piped in, you mean?
On Wi-Fi speakers, yeah.
Okay.
So there was that. And then there are even people listening to some on Wi-Fi, some Christian church service or something like that. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is a new world for me.
Church service going on.
Yeah, two people were sitting on their little lawn chairs, looking at the Capitol. Again, one of my pictures. Show you a picture. Listening to church service.
Okay.
I think the pictures show. This is very there. Do you see?
Yeah. Okay, so they're doing some Zoom church.
Yeah, chilling, bringing their church to the Capitol. Fine. And then I went to make a phone call. It took about 45 minutes. I was across the street, and there was when I looked around, there wasn't any police presence. Not at all. But I went to make a phone call, came back, and all of a sudden I saw, I'm good at the pictures help. All of a sudden I saw that the people that were behind the barricade were now at the Capitol, like on the actual steps. And I was like, whoa, how'd they get up there? That's weird. Okay, I guess, that's going to make a good photo shoot,
Melissa, you're sounding really suspicious right now. You went to make a phone call, and all of a sudden things started getting weird when you left to make a phone call.
I have connections, but not those kinds of connections. So people were taking pictures. Oh, and they were chanting, "Stop this steal, stop this steal." And I was really impressed by how loud they were and how echoey it was. And I'm like, I like their energy. I like, as an activist, that puts protests together. I wish my people were this angry and aggressive, not aggressive, but just like passionate, right? So I was like, that's great. This so far, I would say this is a good example of a protest from the back and people getting up closer and closer, and that's good. And what do they want to do? They want to disrupt the proceedings, and I feel like that's kind of maybe, connecting to what I'm going through with my own little city hall here. Being disruptive has a use, so that I was impressed by this group of people. There was no organizer. There was nobody organizing anything. There was nobody, just random people trying to get people to come up with them and join them and kind of get close and that. And so then I went around the side, which was the south side of the Capitol building. And that's where I saw people kind of running from the front. I heard some booms and then people running toward me, running around the side, going to the back.
Well, when you say booms, like, what do you like explosion type sounds, or like what?
Yeah, I think
you know what it was?
Tear gas, or I don't know. It was like 3, boom, boom, boom. And it was hard to know where it was coming from because of the echoing and stuff. But right at that moment, people started running towards me, and I started instinctively running towards them because I wanted to go see where they were running from. And as I was getting closer, my eyes started watering or burning, and I was like, oh shit, there's some tear gas going on or something. So I stepped back and started going around. And people were yelling. At that point, people were yelling at the police that they are, what that guys call them? Basically getting angry at the police for attacking the people. And I was thinking like, yeah, welcome to my fucking world, like, where have you guys been?
Well, did you see how people were sharing the photos of when Black Lives Matter protests were near the Capitol building, and they showed like how militarized the Capitol building was? Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like this protest happens and there's basically like barely any police around.
Yeah. And Ron, here, I'm going to show you this picture. A couple days before, I was at a, what's it called? Force the Vote protest. Right there, literally at the Capitol. And the police, and we were small, certainly not that big group of people. And you can't see it so much in this picture because I just got this one guy, but that's the extent of our group. And the police were following us, a bunch of, lefties wanting the rest of the country to have Medicare for all, God forbid, and they followed us, to get us off the country.
So would you say, is it fair to say from your perspective, the Force the Vote protest was more militarized with a police presence than?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Totally.
Wow.
Totally. There was one scene that you could probably see it better. I could see it on the Combo Couches stream. I wanted to clip it up and put a meme together, but that would take me years. So hopefully someone does that. But I mean, there's one shot where they were walking and the police were following us and pushing us off the property of the Capitol because we didn't have a permit. Did all these people have permits? I'm sorry. Did the insurrectionists have permits?
It is such a brutal double standard. Like it's just so unreal, the double standard that exists. And it's because, I mean, let's be honest, there's a huge history of white supremacy in law enforcement.
Right. So, I mean, that's where I was like, well, they did this to themselves. I'm sorry. Where was the police presence? There was police watching. They were off to the side. So when I saw stuff like this, let's see, nobody was, the area was closed. People were just, they don't give a shit. They're just stomping over
So people just climbed that fence and they just went, they said the area was closed, but people just kind of climbed over it. Okay.
Stomped over it. And then the police cars around, but far away. They were definitely not present. They were there in case. And then this one time, oh, here's my little video. This is where I got kind of, my eyes started burning, and then the police did come in.
So the police came at this point. They started doing tear gas. There's cops on bikes going to the scene now because people started breaching the building.
Exactly. So that's probably what was happening. And so then I went around the front to see, because I really wanted to see how many people were at this thing. Was it extending all the way down to the Washington Monument, or how many people are here? Because you got the sense people came from everywhere for this thing. They were gathering, and so from everywhere. So I went around to the side, and it felt like, well, I saw this young guy with a full-on gas mask, and he had a walkie-talkie. He was probably, I don't know, he was like early 20s, maybe younger. And then his MAGA hat, and just, I'm like, lots of characters. That's what I felt like. I saw a lot of people, and most of the people were just there to take pictures and show support. But now I was in the back, and I can show you my perspective of it. At one point, I mean, this is about how far I was. You can't really see it, but
yeah,
really far. And that, I think, was with the zoom. I think I zoomed. And then there were these types of people, kind of all dressed up and military type stuff. And I mean, a lot of things I didn't understand, like I didn't know who all the people were. So that was the extent of it. And at one point, someone pointed to the front. I heard him talking to somebody, and I saw how they had water cannons and they were spraying down half of the
police have water cannons at this point?
I don't know, but you see how one half of the Capitol steps are full. This is now the front, and then the other half didn't have people. So this was after they had sprayed the other half and pushed the people. I guess they made sure that the people were off onto the left side. So there was some action there, and it was hard to know what was going on. And people are standing on things and.
What was the rest of your day like? Like after you left, was it just what was everyone thinking? Like that, you know what I mean? Like what was?
Look, people in the trees, and the reason why I took this picture was like, where's the police telling them to get down? Like I'm in my world, the police are everywhere at every protest. We can't do this, we can't do that. But yeah, sorry. So then at this point I was like, you know what? I've seen enough. I'm kind of, this is it. This is all that's going on. But that's from where I was. And then a friend of mine started texting me photos that they got into the Capitol. I'm like, what? They got in? How is that? Well, that's understandable because there's no police presence anywhere. Sorry, Ron, what did you say?
No. I was just asking. So when you found out that friends of yours got into the Capitol, were you just like,
wait, just to correct you, friends of mine did not get into the Capitol, but a friend was texting me that.
Oh, that people got into the Capitol.
Yeah.
Okay.
TV, regular TV. And I just could not believe that this group, like, honestly, it felt like, and I kept thinking, it felt like someone left the zoo cages open, like, and the zoo animals got out, and they didn't know what was going on or what was supposed to happen there. That's kind of how it felt. In the general carnival, like, atmosphere / rally / protest, because people were dressed up. This is from my perspective, because I've never seen that. Never been at one of these rallies. And then I got this emergency alert that all of a sudden they're closing their curfew in downtown and all over DC starting at 6.
Where were you at that point?
I was deciding to head out and leave.
Okay.
Because I had seen enough. B, I was so far away, nothing really was happening where I was. And when my friend showed me the pictures live, I just could not believe that this motley crew of people somehow got in. And the pictures that I saw, my interpretation was they don't even know what they're doing in there. What are they doing? They're ruffling through papers, and they're like, at a museum, like, it just felt like they didn't know. And then, of course, after the fact, I saw more of the videos, and I was like, oh, okay, well, there was some action going on in there. But I feel like there was no police presence, at least as far back as I was. And B, they kind of brought it onto themselves the next day. Like, this guy, I walked around farther away from the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm. There's Uncle Sam. We got an Uncle Sam costume.
Stilts, yeah. So, but the crowd didn't go that far back. And I was like, okay. So I started leaving. It was around around 3 o'clock. I was like, all right.
Okay, this is where we're at. This is where the experiment known as the United States has taken us. Okay, I'm going to just digest that.
Other people were leaving too. Like, there was an exodus of people leaving, I think, because they all got that curfew notice on their phones. And then I went, that was it. That was the home. And then the next day I went back because I'm
just going to reflect on all this, have a sandwich. I'm just going to maybe a glass of red wine.
I had a pizza. I went over and grabbed some pizza. There was some action at the police station. I wondered if there was a crowd gathering it was some police station, and I saw someone prepping a FBI crew saying, okay, so you know where to go. I just wanted to kind of be done and get my pizza.
I feel you. Yeah.
And in the pizza place, some woman, they were, obviously everybody was Trump people. No one wanted to wear masks, but they did, and to get their pizza. And they asked, are you going to close the pizza shop? And the guy was like, no, we need the money. So he's going to stay open, even though the curfew was at 6. But the next day I went back because I was really curious. And by that point, there were all the crowd was gone, and it was police city all over the place. Yeah. And the National Guard was setting, they set up, you can't see it. You set up the barricades. Now this is what
I can see the barricades a little bit there.
Yeah, and the National Guard standing there guarding it behind. This is exactly where I was the day before. And this just reminds me of 2016 Philadelphia. I was a Bernie Sanders delegate. I was inside going to the DNC inside. I came up, I took the metro one morning and showed up at the DNC, and behind the barricades were protesters and people, that's what we're used to. Now, how come they have this back, the day before? So that
you were in, because I think this is how you and I initially met, which I think we met in 2016 or 2017, but it was around that time. But you were there when the nurses were protesting at the California Democratic Convention, and they told everybody to shut the fuck up. Literally, those are the words they used, shut the fuck up.
I don't remember. I don't remember where that was. At one of the conventions. Is that what you?
It was at one of I don't remember if that was in Sacramento, but it was at one of the conventions. And I mean, I know they said shut the fuck up. I mean, I've watched the video with you. I've watched the video with other people. But yeah, I mean, but wow. Well, there you go. The double standards of protest policing.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron.